I would like to thank you all for joining us for our June partner webinar with Ajax. We look forward to imparting information to help you streamline your business practices. So I am going to go ahead and introduce you guys to our speakers for today. We have Paul Armstrong, who is with Strategic Partnerships and Integrations with Bold Group, and Robert Harmon, who is the Director of Sales in North America for Ajax. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Paul for his piece.
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. Bold is thrilled to announce the integrations with Ajax Systems. This partnership brings together their cutting-edge security and automation tools with our industry-leading alarm monitoring solutions, which are Manitou and Stages. As you'll see, the Ajax integration unlocks a range of powerful features, including visual and photo verification, geolocation sharing, customizable event codes, and more. By collaborating with forward-thinking technology companies like Ajax, Bold continues to deliver innovative solutions that can enhance your offerings and help grow your business. So I hope you'll contact your Bold representative for more information on this or any other of our current integrations. And thanks again for joining us today. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Sarah.
All right, thank you, Paul. So just a quick rundown of our agenda today. We are going to be hearing about Ajax from Robert. He will be doing a demo of this great product. And then also we will be doing a Q&A at the end. As you can see, we do have several members of the staff from Ajax that are on the call today to help answer those questions as we go along also. So I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Robert.
All right. Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody joining today. I know that everybody is super busy, so carving some time out to hear what we have to say, we really appreciate it. And a big thanks to the folks at Bold for allowing us to be a part of this. I know that some of the Bold partners are some of the very best in the industry. So excited to be a part of this opportunity and have the ability to talk to everybody today. Like Sarah mentioned, what we're going to do today is just quickly talk about who Ajax is for those who don't know very quickly. Talk about a little bit about our technology and kind of the different features and some of the latest and greatest things that we've introduced, specifically to what can work with Bold and our opportunities there. And then we're going to finish off with what I think is probably the best part is a demo of what the Ajax application looks like and a few of the different things we can do. So when I'm up here presenting, I can't see the chat. All I can do is see my presentation. So like we did mention, if you got any questions, please put them in the Q&A. We've got some guys from the Ajax team here in North America that are going to be monitoring those and getting back to you quickly as possible. So I do fly through a lot of slides. I get excited and I like to cover as much as possible and keep it as relevant as possible for everybody. So yeah, if I miss something or I need to be interrupted, just jump in because I sometimes don't stop. So what I like to talk about quickly is the fact that Ajax is a Ukrainian-based company. So founded in 2011, but everything was and is in Ukraine. We started with our manufacturing and you name it, everything with an Ajax logo, all the design, the engineering, R&D, tech support, sales was in Kyiv, Ukraine. The invasion took place, and this part I like to get out of the way early because it's unfortunate and hopefully it gets rectified and figured out sooner than later. But the invasion took place, and priority one for Ajax was to get all of our people into safety. So we moved a lot of people to far west Ukraine or different parts of Europe. And as soon as that was done and assured, we tore down our factory and we put it into 180 tractor trailer loads filled with assembly lines, raw material, finished goods, testing equipment. We purchased a facility in far west Ukraine, moved it all over there. And we were able to, from tear down back to full capacity within 3 months. It was remarkable efforts. Since then, and I've been following our Facebook group since I joined Ajax. Since then, I've not seen anybody complain about being out of anything. We were able to navigate not only the global supply chain issues that everybody was experiencing, but as well as the invasion. So since then, we've opened a facility in Turkey, running at very low capacity on purpose, ready to absorb if need be. And we've also moved some production back to Kyiv, where that's where all of our R&D and engineers are. And that's where we like to have all of our new product. We want to make sure we can replicate that quality. And once we can, then we push it to far west Ukraine for some of that larger or mass production. The founder is the guy in the middle. His name is Alexander Konotopsky. He actually is an engineer and started online security distribution in the 2000s. and grew it very successfully. But he said the product he was selling was poor quality and high defect rate. So he goes, I think we can do something better with his knowledge and experience. And he partnered with an OEM to start and said, here's my vision, let's build it together. And he quickly realized that was a bad call. So he quickly pivoted to everything we want to do if we want to be taken as a global, serious intrusion provider. We got to build everything ourselves. So everything with an Ajax logo, including all of our hardware, all of our software, is designed, developed, and manufactured in Ukraine. So, so since 2011, we've grown to largest in Europe by far. We're in 187, 189 countries now, and we've kind of purposely left North America as one of the last markets to enter, which is the world's largest intrusion market. We want to make sure we had our technology figured out before we came here. So I'm not usually big on videos, but I thought this one was really good. Sorry, as you can see, that slide, that video was almost 2 years old now, but you could make that same presentation today and it would have that same effect. The amount of products and the amount of growth and then everything, it's following that same trajectory. So, your North American team has grown quite significantly over the last couple of years, and we continue to grow. A couple more will be added in the next little bit, and then more, much more before the end of the year and into next year. But we have from sales and technical support. There's a quick screenshot of who the key contacts are across North America. We have a dedicated support person over in Europe, Serge, who's on the call today, who will happy to jump on calls and do webinars and technical whatever you need. And we also have 24-hour technical support, which is available in many different formats, either a 1-800 number, an email. We have a chat group on Telegram, or you can actually log a ticket right in our app. So pretty good foundation of support for the North American market and only growing. So people ask when they see Ajax for the first time, where does it line up? Like we have the ability for price point to be doing small residential applications, and we do, but because of the robustness and strength of the wireless range, we are easily doing large industrial facilities. So really the full gamut with one product offering. Like I mentioned, we designed our own software. So we have an app for the end user, very, very well laid out, super intuitive, super fast. I'll give you a demo of how that looks and works. We have an app for we call it a tool for the engineers, but it's basically an installation app or dealer app. Allows you to manage all your sites remotely, do your installs, add and remove devices, change devices. Very, very quick and intuitive, very much like the end user app. We have a pro desktop, which allows somebody on a PC to remotely manage the company. They have the ability, same thing, to get into a site, make alterations, add users, control installation rights for your installers. And it also kind of doubles as a mini monitoring station. Say you had a site like a condo with 50 or 80 different suites and you want to have the ability to have visibility down at the front desk. This gives you that ability as well. And then we also created the Ajax desktop, which is specifically designed more for the end user in mind. Some of the main things they'd want to be able to see, things like video wall, kind of that main screen of the different signals coming in, and some photo verification, and being able to tie video in for the into the different alarm events that come through. So a lot of different software options that Ajax provides as well. But we also, for the people that are on the call that are not an Ajax partner yet or an Ajax central station partner. We have the Ajax Cloud. Cloud signaling is something we launched not too long ago. And that's kind of the advanced and better solution to what we had previously, which was the translator software. And the cloud is great for the Bold partners. But basically, this allows you to monitor the Ajax systems. There's no hardware to buy as long as you have a receiver that supports IP. But what I would suggest is if you're not a partner yet, we can get you in contact with Ron Jagmohan, who's our technical director for North America. He can set up an initial call to discuss what needs to be done. He can share uh, our master reseller agreement, which we'll talk about, and then we can get you connected with Surge for the technical implementation, and then possibly a fourth connection with if you'd like to get your staff trained up on how to onboard dealers or how to onboard new Ajax accounts. So it's a pretty simple process, pretty quick and easy to deploy. Just very quickly, like I think for Ajax, priority one is security and making sure our stuff is secure and reliable, and then priority two is making sure it's pretty and looks cool and is a great user experience. So everything you would assume is fully supervised, power failure, jamming, hacking, tampers, server loss, and a lot of this stuff you have the ability to scroll up and down and adjust the check-in times. If it's you got a site where you have an issue where maybe the cellular connectivity is poor and you're getting a bunch of offline issues, maybe you can turn that up, say, let me know if it's offline for an hour. So a lot of this stuff is customizable depending on the site that you're going to. Within Ajax, we have our own long-range wireless of up to 6,500 feet line of sight for our wireless devices. And it has 100 channels for frequency hopping spread spectrum. So it's going to be able to hop between different channels to make sure it's getting that signal through efficiently and effectively. Most devices on that wireless side as well are in that 5 to 7 year battery life. A big part of what we do is visual verification, and we added a separate channel inside the wireless called Wings. And this is what transmits all our visual verification alarms. So what we did is we separated those because priority one for us is your jeweler, life safety and security. And then secondly, we have visual verification, completely separate channel, but because I can have 200 of these devices on a system, there's just not enough space. So we separated them. Wings is for visual and jeweler is for life safety and security. It's just built into the system. You don't have to worry about it. I thought I'd mention. When we came to North America, we knew it was critical to make sure we get all the proper certifications that are applicable to the North American space, and we did that. It always takes a lot longer than you'd hope, but we knew it was critical, so we made sure that was a priority. CPO1 is checked off. That was done to make sure we've got Texas, California, and I think Florida covered off. NIST certification we completed, as well as UL and ULC for our devices, which was absolutely critical. I already talked about support, so I'll skip that. Yeah, just quickly again, like I mentioned, apartments, houses, offices and stores, industrial warehouses. But the one thing I want to talk about, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but our control panel is a picture on the left and right. That's our control panel, and I'll kind of share what that does. But one unique thing we have the ability to do is open it up and take the board inside that supports AC and put a board that supports DC. So I can run it off a car battery or boat battery or integrate a solar panel. And we have the ability to, again, that's what the PCB looks like. You can take that out of the hub and take the AC out and put this into the hub. And we had a partner here in Toronto do a school that was being built. For 2 months, it had no power because it was getting all of the supplies delivered and the foundation was getting dug out. And he just picked up a car battery from a local hardware store and ran it off that for 2 months, and then added our outdoor detection and warning. And it's a big part of what we do, and it opened them up to that. And then we're also seeing a lot of these deployments, especially on the European side, these tower devices with a car battery inside, maybe a solar panel on top, and it has the ability to just be an autonomous, go drop it out into a construction site or different applications. And if it's armed, it's taking a bunch of different pictures. And we'll do demos of kind of how this setup would work. One of the new devices that we've introduced to the North American market is called the Hub BP, and that's available for pre-order. It's they're being built right now, probably into the North American space later in July. But the Hub BP, and this allows your control panel to run autonomously for up to 17 months on the internal battery. So if you got a challenging site where there's no chance you're getting power, and I want to be able to do this outdoor visual verification or outdoor sirens and detectors or whatever Ajax, you have the ability to do that with the Hub BP, which is going to be available probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Actually, I'll skip. Actually, Malavich, yeah, we have our own operating software, pushes your over-the-air updates for minor bug fixes, but primarily feature enhancements. And that goes for devices and panels and the ability to do our camera updates. Again, being able to avoid rolling a truck when something new comes out or fixes something. You have the ability to push that update remotely and give those new features to the end user. Um, like I mentioned, we're very big on that Ajax experience. And if you follow Ajax or read some blogs on us, we have that nickname of the Apple of security because we're big on from the first time you see the Ajax box on the shelf in distribution, all the way into what the end user uses every day. It's got to be the highest quality. So little things like the ability to have every device available in black, or every device except the outdoor motions in white. So everything's available in black or white, and it's nice to have that in your arsenal if you're going to a site that's got a dark environment. Because I think we've probably seen people attempt to paint detectors before. Some do a good job, some do not so good a job. But it's nice to have like the full suite of products available in black or white when I need it to fit that environment. So we have a pretty extensive line with pretty much everything you can imagine you'd want, plus more. I'll go through some of these when they come up, but we'll start with the Ajax Hub. So that's your control panel. It gives me the ability to do up to 25 partitions, 200 users, 200 devices or zones on the system, and a massive coverage map if I lay my repeaters out correctly. And again, this hub has that range of up to 6,500 feet line of sight before repeaters. Included is Ethernet, included is LTE with a SIM card. That's a roaming SIM card in North America, and it includes Wi-Fi as well. So a lot of horsepower in that little hub that we have. But devices that we have that you would think that this is a unique device that, again, people seem to love, and especially people who have been around in the industry for a long time. They've been asking for something like this, things like a wireless relay. And it's not just a wireless relay, it's a long range wireless relay to control whatever you want. So one of our bigger dealers in the US, before we launched our video, he was doing the relay to trip the input on his NVR to turn his analytics on. When the system arms at night, turn the analytics on. When the system disarms at night, in the morning, sorry, turn those analytics off. So a lot of crazy use cases that you have the ability, or just simple use cases, this gives you the ability to do that. And you can control that from your phone or have it follow a schedule or follow an alarm, whatever you like. We talked about the wireless functionality, but you can also do hardwire. So I call this, if you've seen one of these, it kind of looks like a Batmobile or like a Tesla truck. This supports up to 18 hardwire zones with selectable zone resistance or auto learn zone resistance. Um, and it talks wirelessly back to my hub. So this is like a zone expander, and I have the ability 6,500 feet back to my hub. And this has the ability to have 10 of these on one system. So 180 hardwire zones out of that 200. 180 can be hardwired. So picture one large facility with a ton of hardwire, or a home with a ton of hardwire, or multi buildings that are kind of all on the same property. I can bring those all into that same Ajax experience. Instead of maybe 3 or 4 monitoring accounts, now it comes into one, all on one app, all transmitting to the station for you. Uh, Again, unique detectors like life quality. I'm not sure how many people are monitoring the air quality in their offices today, or their schools or hospitals, but this is a medical grade detector that measures CO2 levels, temperature, and humidity. And I think this is one of the neat devices where you do a presentation or a meeting with somebody, and you can plop this down right in the middle of the table and start your meeting and see what the air quality is like to start, and then see what the air quality is like by the end of the meeting, and what the different things that happen when you open a door. So the ability to kind of see and what this has on your workforce, what the different parts per million levels have. It's pretty crazy, and a lot of people aren't aware of the effects of this. So we have a few terminology differences in North America. We have REX is usually request to exit. With us, it's range extender. So we have the ability to introduce repeater, doubles our range. I have the ability to do 5 repeaters on a system. And I also, but what we have uniquely to the Rex 2 is I have the ability to remotely mount, and this should be pretty unique to us in the intrusion space, the ability to remotely mount our repeaters over IP. So it should be rare that you need it because of the long range, but picture thick concrete walls or metal, and going building to building, or thick concrete walls like a school or an armory or a parking garage. You want to get down to that basement, but you can't get the signal, but you've got a network connection. You have the ability to make that option over IP. For fire devices, we've got a full lineup there as well. We have a smoke heat, we have a smoke heat CO, we have a heat only, we have a CO only. And again, available in black and white detectors that are available today. We have a lineup of keypads that have the ability to have a prox tag reader for arming and disarming with tags and cards. We have a 4-button fob, single button, and dual button panics, but we also have a touchscreen, which my 9-year-old calls the iPhone Ajax. Got a very similar look and feel to the Ajax app. Battery powered for a year and a half, or if I get the 12 volts to it, it can be powered via 12 volts and just use those batteries as backup. You can have your automations run off there as well. There's a white framed version. You can enable dark mode or light mode. And then also it has that reader in the bottom as well for your tags and cards, or that low energy Bluetooth to disarm it as well. Again, just to hammer home some of the complete lineup of devices, like we have long range flood sensors. We call them the leak protects. 5-year battery life, long range wireless, but then we also have long range wireless water shutoff valves. So you have the ability to go into picture multi-dwelling condo application, and you could run, because of the hub range, you could maybe pick up 30 suites off one control panel, maybe put 3 or 4 leak protects in each suite, and then maybe have the water shut off in each suite. If picture suite 30 goes into alarm because it detected one flood, you could have the water shut off in suite 30. They're hot and cold. The water stop there is battery powered for 3.5 years, or I can get power to it and power that remotely with 12 volt. So just show some of the lifestyle pictures. And a common theme for us is the marketing support that we have. I think we've got like 23,000 pictures of lifestyle and product images that our partners can put up onto their website or their social media feeds to freshen it up. So just some more examples of the stuff that we have. Sirens, we have the home siren, which is basically an indoor siren, very tiny, up to 105 decibel, nice looking device. But then we have the outdoor versions as well. So the street siren has a metal cover to it, and the street siren double deck does not come with a cover, but it gives you the ability to brand with your faceplate. So you buy a faceplate separately, and we have dealers that if we do this for them, they have the ability to upload their logo. And in Europe, this kind of replaces the lawn sign. So all the homes and businesses are having this on the outside of the building or home, and it's a nice way to get some extra branding. And it's got that nice siren strobe combo. So this one's up to 113 decibels, so it can be quite loud if I want it to be. And then I can also toggle on how long I want it to go. So it could be 0, it just flashes. And I could say, but I want the siren to go from between 3 to 180 seconds. So I'm going to quickly share. This one might be a little loud, so hopefully I'm going to share a video here. End user had obviously a Ring camera already, but they wanted some extra protection here in Toronto, which was one of the biggest vehicle theft markets in all of North America. So as soon as the motion camera on the right picks them up, so yeah, that was a residential application. I don't know if I would have it be ringing for 3 minutes like that, but again, like you could say, just have it go for 3 seconds. If the person came back up the driveway after the 3 seconds, it would go again, and then it would go again. So when I joined Ajax, I was always weary of outdoor protection. I was just thinking there'd be way too many false alarms because all the different variables that are out there. But seeing what Ajax has been doing in the European market and how much outdoor protection they were doing, I started to investigate. We started to say, hey, listen, Let's test it out here in North America. And this has become a massive, massive, massive part of what we're doing here in the North American space. So the visual verification, the two devices on the left, they take pictures when the system goes into alarm and transmits them to your station very, very quickly. And also the end user very, very quickly. So the speed, the image quality, and the price point is, and just how well it works is why we sell a ton of the two detectors on the left. And on the bottom right, we sell a lot of the dual current outdoor motions. And this is a detector, and I'll show you a picture that shoots a narrow beam 50 feet out each side of it to give you the ability to set up a perimeter. And again, I can do 200 of these devices on a system. So imagine, and they're very cost effective. Imagine the perimeter I can set up if I have these out there with 200 of them. So 100 feet total for a detector like this. Um, and again, these are outdoor rated, 3.5 to 4 year battery life on these outdoor devices. So, yeah, just a couple more images. Our marketing again is just a lot of great content for you to fill up your website or your social media feeds. And then here's another one for that dual curtain outdoor and what that would look like. One thing that I thought I would share that I know some work had to be done with the Bold group and making sure Manitou and Stage is supported is the in-app panic. And this is something we've had in our app for since I joined Ajax, so well over 3 years. I'm not sure when it was been out, but basically, if I hit the panic in my app, it will let every user in my app know with a loud screaming push notification that the panic button's been pushed. They'll see who pushed it and where they pushed it, and this is information that can also go to your station as well. So the update we did not too recently ago was we had added it to the Apple Watch. So I'm going to do a quick short video showing what that looks like. So, yeah, that's a nice thing for you to have, and that's built in there as well. So, to also talk about another thing that the Bold Group supports is the visual verification. It's a very big part of what we do. And another quick short video, a couple short quick videos on how this looks. So as you can see, what happens each time there's motion when it's armed, it takes 3 pictures and it stitches it together like a little GIF or a GIF. And again, sends that to the station and the end user very quickly of what caused that to go into alarm. If somebody keeps walking, it's 3 more pictures. They keep walking, 3 more pictures. At default, they're getting 30 pictures of what caused that motion detector to trip. So you get that verified response. And again, when I joined, I was very weary of outdoor detectors, but I got to tell you, we sell a ton of these, and very rarely do we hear of any issues. And if we do hear issues, it's usually explainable, like a squirrel climbed over top of the motion detector, or a raccoon was right in front of it. But for the most part, you're not going to hear false alarms from regular sized pets. Deers, sure, but regular sized pets, you're not, or animals, you're not going to have them set it off. It's because we've built in like the algorithm to make sure that, again, a dog setting off that lower beam is not going to trip it, but a human coming through is for sure going to trip that. The detection, it's up to 50 feet. So I have the ability to dial it down significantly so it wouldn't pick up a sidewalk. But if I want to push it all the way out to the limit, it's up to about 50 feet is where the detection area picks up. These motion cameras are built in with IRs for low light and no light. The outdoor version has a HDR lens, so you're getting a little bit sharper images when you get the challenging lighting environment. We continue to add more detectors to our outdoor arsenal. This should be on the shelves in distribution now. It's a one-way curtain, so instead of having that two-way, it's just one-way for applications that you might need. And then we also released a newer higher mount one that I think allows you to do up to 16 feet off the ground. So get a little bit higher out of the way of either somebody parking a vehicle in front of it or somebody intentionally trying to damage or sabotage it. Ajax started out as an intrusion company and then introduced automation. And then our big push forward was video. We introduced video a little over a year ago into the North American space with the Ajax NVR, which was the first one. And this is an 8 or 16 channel NVR, supports up to 200 cameras. Nice thing about this is it brings in any third-party camera that supports OnViv, or you can use the Ajax cameras as well. And not to beat a dead horse, but again, we manufacture all of this in Ukraine. So all of this makes sure that it meets the NDA compliant. But again, bringing in third-party cameras, so leverage what's already been installed and bring that into the Ajax experience. Or you can use the Ajax cameras, which support analytics. So the analytics are on the edge, vehicle, animal, and people. Of it, we have 3 different models available today, with many more coming. But we have a mini dome, a turret, and a bullet available in both 5 and 8 megapixels. These are if you haven't actually seen one of these in person and picked them up, these are metal high quality devices. And video is by far our fastest growing segment globally, by far. And just another picture of kind of what that looks like. One thing that we've introduced, though, and we talked about this just before the call, we've launched our video verification. So we had visual verification before with our motion cameras, but video verification via web links. I'm just going to get a quick video right here on that. So yeah, that's something we've just been testing with Bold. I know that Serge has been working with that. If there's somebody on the call that would like more information and would like to get it in early to see how this works at your station, you got Serge here as one of the panelists, or you can send me a note, or Ron Jagmahan. We can get you set up and get you moving forward with this. So yeah, I want to make sure I'm not going too much into the time before getting into the demo, but doorbells. We launched doorbell. We knew this was a critical part to have. I think it's the industry's best doorbell. It's got things like 2-hour backup battery. It's got built-in heater for those colder climates, so it monitors the temperature and kicks the heater on if it needs to, so it's not getting knocked offline when it gets crazy cold. It has a long-range wireless availability over Wi-Fi. Has the ability to chime my mechanical or digital chime in my house, or all those Ajax sirens, or the Ajax touchscreen. So a lot of different options on chime. But the main thing that separates this compared to anybody else is this has our own long-range wireless built in. So it would require power, 12 volt to 24 volt AC or DC. It would require Wi-Fi. But if Wi-Fi goes out, or even power goes out, it has the ability to fall back to our long-range wireless. So say somebody changes their Wi-Fi and goes to a new provider, I can connect to it remotely with the Ajax app and connect to a new Wi-Fi before having to roll a truck or walk an end user through that process. If somebody jams the Wi-Fi, or Wi-Fi is out and somebody tries to break in and the systems aren't, this will be taking pictures. Also, if the Wi-Fi goes out and somebody comes and pushes the doorbell, it's still going to take pictures and send notifications out of who pushed that doorbell. So I believe it's the world's first wireless redundant doorbell in the market. So we've had them on the market a little over a month or 2 now, and the feedback has been phenomenal. I haven't heard anything other than phenomenal. And then we also released an indoor version of that for the indoor cam. So this has got all the same specs as that doorbell, but in a wireless motion cam, 2-way communication, just like the doorbell, and quick deployment for residential or small business Wi-Fi cam. We also launched Ajax services, and there's a lot here, so I apologize. I'm going through so quickly. I'm told there'll be a recording for everybody, so if you want to pause it and take a breath and kind of absorb what I'm saying. But yeah, we launched Ajax services at the beginning of the year. So for those who are not aware, we have set up all the central stations as master resellers. So you have the ability to manage these services yourself if you're a dealer station, or if you're a third-party station, you have the ability to resell the Ajax services via from our SIM card, or our video services. So we introduced a cloud video not too long ago, and the SIM card earlier in the year. And again, it's a roaming SIM card, and we want to make sure we protect the channels and include our partners. So the central stations are allowed to be master resellers of the Ajax SIM card and cloud services. So if you need more information on that, we would take that discussion offline between myself, Ron, or Serge. We can have that conversation. We also launched the Ajax portal, which is again just filled with tons of resources for Ajax info, marketing images upon marketing images, just a lot of great content. But the big thing, and I think the most thing people are liking, is the Ajax Academy. It's just tons of different trainings that you have the ability for your staff, either new or existing, to get up to speed on Ajax. And to become an authorized Ajax partner, we require our partners to have at least 2 of these under their belt, and at least and then we have a systems requirement as well that we put into place. And if they achieve that, they can be placed on our where to buy page, which we get a decent amount of end user traffic through. So once those trainings are done, you can print a certificate off that you've completed, and there'll be actual designation on your on the where to buy all the different courses you've completed. Little things like this, I'm going to skip through this one quickly, but we also create like an Ajax catalog configurator. So you have the ability to pick what you want to cover off. You can enter pricing. You can, oh, let me go back to that. Sorry. And then at the end, you can say open preview, and then it gives you the catalog with all the devices you want to feature, different prices, and your logo in there as well. So a lot of good resources, and we continue to push that info down. So at that point, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my presentation and push it over to which I think the best part is I'll give you a demo of the actual Ajax experience. So as you can see, we have 3 apps, or 2 apps, sorry. I got the O one there. Actually, I've got beta versions of both the installer app and the end user app to make sure I can test all the new features as they come out. So I'm going to do that. We got the installer app and the end user app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let me close this out because I have that go again. Perfect. Okay. So what I want to do is quickly show you that end user experience for the Ajax app, and then some of the features that I know the Bold group has worked hard to make sure they can share. So I have the ability to take pictures of whatever I want and make that my partition icon. So if I want to go, actually, I'm going to go to this application. Sorry. Deer Creek Golf Course. So I take a picture of like a clubhouse, right? So clubhouse could be partition 1 if I want to arm partition 1 only. I hit partition 1, which is clubhouse. If I want to hit it again, to disarm. If I want a global arm, I hit global arm and then global disarm. So very, very quick and intuitive for an end user. If I had just the restaurant manager and all I want them to see is the restaurant, I can untoggle the other partitions and all they see is restaurant. What if I don't want them to see the devices or get notifications? You can take that off. All they can do is push the button to arm and disarm the restaurant. And then once, if there was open zones, it would pop up which zones are open and they could address it. So you can give as much or as little visibility as you want to your end user. So we also have the in-app panic, which is the picture on the bottom left there. And it's not based on where my hub's located. It's simply based on where my phone's located. So every user in the hub gets a screaming push notification. Rob Harmon pressed the panic button. I hit that button and there is myself. And if I hit Google Maps, I get the coordinates and directions. Again, this is the same thing I can do right from my phone here. But I get that coordinate directions and I can see who and where. We did a sorority house in Texas where I guess all the girls got access to the app where if somebody pushed it, they know who and where. And then they can also have that outdoor siren strobe ringing out the front of the sorority house. Or picture like a real estate agent team or a realtor team. They have the ability to all of their staff have it, where if somebody pushed it, they all kind of know who and where. They're getting a screaming notification, and maybe the closest person can check in on what's going on. So, but what I want to do is I want to add a couple devices to show you the Ajax experience, and then show you the visual verification on what that looks like. So I'm going to do add device. I'm going to scan the QR code. I'm going to say basement flood. I'm going to pick my partition. I'll always do Clubhouse for the demo here. Add device. And every device Ajax has a QR code and a power button. So I'm gonna hit the power button and it's in. So I'm gonna add two more devices. I'm gonna add the motion camera. Motion cam. Same thing, power button. Lastly, the siren. You guys can see the branded Canadian flag there. Outdoor siren. So very quick and easy to get a couple devices online, but if I want to go to my motion camera and just bump up the resolution to make sure it's, again, we don't overhype the quality of the resolution. It's not megapixel, but it is 640 by 352. And then the siren, if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to change it from loud to muted. And it's going to flash for 30 seconds. But as you can see, Ajax, it's all about toggling on and off and scrolling up and down. It's very, very quick to have this stuff deployed. And now I'm going to arm device or arm system. So the system automatically arms, but it could take up to 36 or 40 seconds for the motion camera or some of the devices to check in. Once they check in, they're locked in place. But I'm going to tell you when I see the light go green, that means it's detected me motion, that it started to work. And you're going to see how quickly this starts flashing. So once it goes green, and it's always awkward when it takes that full time, but green light starts flashing that quickly. So that could be screaming loud if I want it to be. But basically when it did that green light, it meant it took 3 pictures, and we're going to see how quickly that gets to the station and the end user. So what I'll do is I'll hit disarm. And I'm going to see how quickly first image is already there. Oh, I look very surprised. There you go. But what it's going to do, it's going to stitch, very big eyes there. Yeah, it's going to stitch those images together like a little GIF or a GIF, and it's going to transmit those to the users, the end users, and the station that quickly. So you get that verified response. If it was a pitch black room, it works great as well. It brightens up the whole room, and you get the ability to see what it is. But the speed, the image quality, price point, we're having a ton of success with this. And if you haven't deployed this yet, it's something you should be looking at. So let me just pop over to my house quickly. I want to show you a couple more things. So little things like this that are built in. For example, every device Ajax has temperature, signal strength. It's listed right on the device. Most devices, almost all, have the battery level. So it's showing 100% right now. I have the ability to turn, like it's toggling on and off, right? Tilt sensor on. It's got to be 25 degree. My shock sensor, I want it to be normal. So it's just toggling on and off, scrolling up and down. If I wanted to change my entry delay, you're scrolling up and down to whatever you'd like it to be there. And this is all the stuff you can do remotely. And by the way, I need to clarify, I have the end user app, which has full rights to do everything. You as a dealer, when I'm showing you through the end user app to keep it simple, as a dealer, which is almost identical app, the dealer has these rights and would make sure the end user does not have what I'm showing you here. But I've got the full rights on the end user app. So I showed you that, but let me show you my kitchen door where we let my dog out many times a day. So the garage door that I showed you was it's approaching 4 years, still sitting at 100%. We don't use it a ton, but our kitchen door, same thing, up almost 4 years. We're letting my dog out all day long, going in and out. And that's where my kids go. They go at the backyard to go to school each day. So it's being opened dozens and dozens of times a day, and it's sitting at 30% battery life. So it's nice to have that visibility before I go do a truck roll, take a look at some of the detectors and see which devices are below a threshold that we probably should change. So I thought that was nice. But what I like to do here is go into the video experience for Ajax. So ignore the garage, it's a mess. But I would like to show off is the deck because my dog's out there quite frequently. And I have the ability to go in here and just kind of see general motion. But actually, let me turn it sideways so it gets full. I don't know if you can hear the audio on that, probably not, but I can go here and just see generic motion where things are blowing around. But if I just want to hunt it down and say every time my dog's been on the deck, we're going to start looking for purple. So that's every time there's purple on the deck, my dog has been on the deck. So that was 5:30 this morning. Oh, we'll do last night there. But I have the ability to, yeah, it's, actually, my son graduated high school yesterday, so I had my parents over. But just how quickly, there's no lag. I just want to keep scrolling through the different things that have taken place. And if I want to search, show selected, if I want to search, let's go back to, I'm sorry. No, I'm having a brain cramp. So if I want to go back to, let's go back to November 22nd, apply. It's going to be the same thing, just that same experience. Pet set, yeah, show selected. Maybe we are way up the cottage. Let's do, all right. So it's that quick. And then if I see something that I need to do, I can download. So I can say I saw something here, from here to here, request file. And then I've downloaded that video, and it's now on my phone. So once you are an authorized, you're set up and connected with Ajax. Actually, I'll go to my Deer Creek hub again. Deer Creek. You have the ability to simply go here, and again, this is security companies, and these are the Canadian. Being in Canada, it defaults to all the Canadian central stations, but they'd all be listed here. And in the U.S., we have a similar list for all the U.S. central stations. And this is something that continually evolving and growing. But I would simply connect to Armstrong's, and I could apply my hub. So if they've already approved you as a dealer, it comes in quickly and it's a quick process. The first time you do this, then it's going to be a bit of a process to make sure you get set up. But once you're set up, it's a very quick and easy process going forward. So I'm not going to send the request so they don't get that notification, but just to quickly show you what that would look like. Anything else, Sean or Serge?
No, from my end, I think you covered everything. I don't know if Serge, if you have any ideas.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. One of the other things is also the notifications from the cameras, from the AI detection. Basically, the app itself will give you a notification, or you can set it up so that the camera gives you a push every time it detects a human or a pet, so that the feature is configurable, and this is very tightly connected to the events that are going to be sent to a central station. So whatever is programmed in the notifications is also going to be delivered to a central station as well.
Yeah, great point. I've got mine set up to anytime there's a person at my door, I want to get notified. So I can set my detection grid so I'm not looking onto my street or my driveway. But once they come up my stairs, if somebody's there, I get a push notification that it's a person. But you could set your backyard to say my backyard in a detection grid area that you set between midnight, or only maybe when it's armed, between midnight and 6 in the morning. If somebody's in my backyard, I want a push notification, and that's the information that's going to be going to the station as well. So good point, Serge. I missed that. So
I would like to thank Rob and your staff, and Paul. Thank you so much for being here today. And as we mentioned before, if you do want to know more about this, reach out to our sales team, and your sales representative will get back to you. You can email them at boldsales@boldgroup.com. And that'll do it to wrap us up for today for our integration with Ajax partner webinar.